Everybody keeps asking what's going on in the market, what's happening, what's going to happen in the second half of the year. So we're halfway done through 2022, right? So we're halfway done. And what I feel is going to happen is the market's going to shift a little bit. So we're already seeing it come in a little bit with the inventory going up and the sales going down. It's shifted about 6% both ways. So we're getting a little bit of a more balanced market. But what will happen is sellers are going to have to agree to drop their prices. So once the inventory goes up and there's less buyers out there, if you want to sell, you're going to have to drop your price, right? Because there's going to be too much competition with the inventory out there. But how do we get sellers to drop their price? Well, the sellers that bought this year or last year are probably not going to drop their price because they paid a very high premium for their house. But what we will see is people that bought 5 years ago, even if prices come down by 5% or 10%, it's still a good price for them. So they're still looking really good. So those people will drop their price. Those people will very easily drop their price. But the people that bought this year, so as the market continues on a downward slope from this year, next year, probably a couple years after, with everything that's going on, inflation and carbon tax and the way the world's going right now, we're gonna see a steady decline. So what will happen is the people bought this year are going to be the last people to admit that they overpaid. So these are going to be the last people to drop their price. So what'll happen is we'll have a seller approach us in the fall, in September, October, November, and they're going to ask us, what's the price of our house? What's our house worth? And they're going to see what happened in the springtime and hope that this continues on into the market in the fall market, right? So we don't set the price. The realtor determines the marketing and the exposure and how the house is presented, and the market determines the price. So what buyers are willing to pay for a specific property is what the property's worth in a given market. So what we'll see is we'll see a shift and people holding on. Well, let's say you listed your house in September. If your house doesn't sell in 30 days, what are you going to do? Generally, you're going to drop your price, or you're going to decide this is not the right time to sell. So most people are going to drop their price. Okay, so what if your house hasn't sold at the end of October? You're 60 days in, still hasn't sold. What are you going to do? And then if your house hasn't sold at the end of November, now we're 90 days in, what are you going to do? And then if your house hasn't sold at the end of December, 120 days in, now what are you going to do? And I feel like that's going to be the whole market. So they're going to have to make that choice in the 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. Some of them are just going to say, hey, let's wait for the spring market. Let's see what happens. But what might happen is the market might slow down altogether. And then next year in the spring, we'll see a significant amount of properties on the market and less buyers because of the interest rates going up and less people confident in the market and wanting to buy at this point, and people sitting on the fence waiting for the market to come down. Now, is the market going to come down for these people waiting? We don't know that. You can't time the market at the top. You can't time the market at the bottom. So the couple things that might happen, this might be for the market coming back down. It might be a very slow, gradual process. The people that bought in 2021 and 2022 are going to be the last ones to admit. And those people in the next year, if the market drops 5%, and you bought a $500,000 house, are you going to take that $25,000 hit plus $25,000 for real estate fees, $10,000, $15,000 for mortgage buyout? Like, are you going to take that hit, or are you just going to continue to live in that house? I feel like a lot of people who bought this year and last year, and even in 2020, have a little bit of buyer's remorse. They felt pressured. They overpaid for a house, or they felt pressured to pick this house when they could have picked one that was better suited for their family. So I feel like the average for a buyer is 2 to 5 years in our market. I feel like that'll shrink a little bit. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people testing the waters next year and be like, I didn't really want a bungalow. We bought a bungalow because we couldn't find anything else. So some people will be testing the waters and seeing what they could sell their house for. Now, when they go to the market and it's 5% less than they paid for it, what's their stomach for that? Or do you think they're actually going to take the loss, or are they going to just wait it out? A lot of people just wait it out. You just have to determine what initially got you interested in purchasing real estate in the first place, and then follow that. Don't try to follow the market. Don't try to follow the price. Just follow what initially got you interested in real estate in the first place. And if it's a lifestyle thing, then we can help with that. If it's also a money thing, we can help with that as well. But that requires a whole investment analysis as far as what your house can sell for now, the house that you were going to purchase, and everything like that. So if there's anything that we can do here at the team, EdmontonRealEstate.online, MattFerguson.ca, MasteringRealEstate.ca, we've got it all covered. Reach out to me or someone on the team. Have a great day.